Even if in winter things tend to freeze, we got the world monopoly on trees, and our country's bordered by 3 different seas.
Yeah, I know that you wanna be Canadian, please. We invented the zipper, we got expertise. We made insulin to combat disease. Yeah, I know that you wanna be Canadian, please.
Britain got the monarchy, the US has the money, but I know that you wanna be Canadian. The French will get the wine and cheese, koalas chew with the Aussies, but I know that you wanna be Canadian.
Et si ce n'était pas assez, on a 2 langues officielles, l'anglais et le français. Ooh la la.
Yeah, I know that you wanna be Canadian, please. Where else do you find mounted police or go to the hospital and not pay fees? I know that you wanna be Canadian, please.
And when fresh water's in high demand, we got the world's largest supply on hand. So you know that we can make a pretty good friend, but it's even better if you can be.
Britain got the monarchy, the US has the money, but I know that you wanna be Canadian. The French will get the wine and cheese, koalas chew with the Aussies, but I know that you wanna be Canadian.
So you're thinking to yourself, how do I live in this beautiful country? Well, I've got some steps for you to follow.
Step 1, lose the gun. Step 2, buy a canoe. Step 3, live multiculturally. Step 4, you ready? There is no war. We got beavers, caribou, and moose. We got buffalo, bears, and Canadian goose. And we're sorry about Celine Dion, but she did do that good song for James Cameron. Cameron.
Britain got the monarchy, the US has the money, but I know that you wanna be Canadian. The French will get the wine and cheese, koalas chew with the Aussies, but I know that you wanna be Canadian. The Greeks all chill with Socrates, can't build a wall like the Chinese, but I know that you wanna be Canadian. In Kenya they have safaris with mixed lots of other countries, but I know that you wanna be Canadian. Yeah, I know that you wanna be Canadian, please. Even if in winter things tend to freeze, we got the world monopoly on trees, and our country's bordered by 3 different seas.
Yeah, I know that you wanna be Canadian, please. We invented the zipper, we got expertise. We made insulin to combat disease. Yeah, I know that you wanna be Canadian, please.
Britain got the monarchy, the US has the money, but I know that you wanna be Canadian. The French will get the wine and cheese, koalas chew with the Aussies, but I know that you wanna be Canadian.
Et si ce n'était pas assez, on a 2 langues officielles, l'anglais et le français. Ooh la la.
Yeah, I know that you wanna be Canadian, please. Where else do you find mounted police or go to the hospital and not pay fees? I know that you wanna be Canadian, please.
And when fresh water's in high demand, we got the world's largest supply on hand. So you know that we can make a pretty good friend, but it's even better if you can be.
Britain got the monarchy, the US has the money, but I know that you wanna be Canadian. The French will get the wine and cheese, koalas chew with the Aussies, but I know that you wanna be Canadian.
So you're thinking to yourself, how do I live in this beautiful country? Well, I've got some steps for you to follow.
Step 1, lose the gun. Step 2, buy a canoe. Step 3, live multiculturally. Step 4, you ready? There is no war. We got beavers, caribou, and moose. We got buffalo, bears, and Canadian goose. And we're sorry about Celine Dion, but she did do that good song for James Cameron. Cameron.
Britain got the monarchy, the US has the money, but I know that you wanna be Canadian. The French will get the wine and cheese, koalas chew with the Aussies, but I know that you wanna be Canadian. The Greeks all chill with Socrates, can't build a wall like the Chinese, but I know that you wanna be Canadian. things tend to freeze. We got the world monopoly on trees, and our country's bordered by 3 different seas.
Yeah, I know that you wanna be Canadian, please. We invented the zipper, we got expertise. We made insulin to combat disease. Yeah, I know that you wanna be Canadian, please.
We took out the monarchy, the U.S. has the money, but I know that you wanna be Canadian. The French took out the wine and cheese, koalas chill with the Aussies, but I know that you wanna be Canadian.
Et si ce n'était pas assez, on a 2 langues officielles, l'anglais et le français. Ouh là là.
Yeah, I know that you wanna be Canadian, please. Where else do you find mounted police or go to the hospital and not pay fees? I know that you wanna be Canadian, please.
And when fresh water's in high demand, we got the world's largest supply on hand. So you know that we can make a pretty good friend, but it's even better if you can.
We took out the monarchy, the U.S. has the money, but I know that you wanna be Canadian. The French took out the wine and cheese, koalas chill with the Aussies, but I know that you wanna be Canadian.
So you're thinking to yourself, how do I live in this beautiful country? Well, I've got some steps for you to follow.
Step 1, lose the gun. Step 2, buy a canoe. Step 3, live multiculturally. Step 4, you ready? There is no more. We got beavers, caribou, and moose. We got buffalo, bears, and Canadian goose. And we're sorry about Celine Dion, but she did do that good song for James Cameron. Cameron.
We took out the monarchy, the U.S. has the money, but I know that you wanna be Canadian. The French took out the wine and cheese, koalas chill with the Aussies, but I know that you wanna be Canadian. The Greeks all chill with Socrates, can't build a wall like the Chinese, but I know that you wanna be Canadian. In Kenya they have safaris, we miss lots of other countries, but I know that you wanna be Canadian. Yeah, I know that you wanna be Canadian, please. Even if in winter things tend to freeze, we got the world monopoly on trees, and our country's bordered by 3 different seas.
Yeah, I know that you wanna be Canadian, please. We invented the zipper, we got expertise. We made insulin to combat disease. Yeah, I know that you wanna be Canadian, please.
We took out the monarchy, the U.S. has the money, but I know that you wanna be Canadian. The French took out the wine and cheese, koalas chill with the Aussies, but I know that you wanna be Canadian.
Et si ce n'était pas assez, on a 2 langues officielles, l'anglais et le français. Ouh là là.
Yeah, I know that you wanna be Canadian, please. Where else do you find mounted police or go to the hospital and not pay fees? I know that you wanna be Canadian, please.
And when fresh water's in high demand, we got the world's largest supply on hand. So you know that we can make a pretty good friend, but it's even better if you can.
We took out the monarchy, the U.S. has the money, but I know that you wanna be Canadian. The French took out the wine and cheese, koalas chill with the Aussies, but I know that you wanna be Canadian.
So you're thinking to yourself, how do I live in this beautiful country? Well, I've got some steps for you to follow.
Step 1, lose the gun. Step 2, buy a canoe. Step 3, live multiculturally. Step 4, you ready? There is no more. We got beavers, caribou, and moose. We got buffalo, bears, and Canadian goose. And we're sorry about Celine Dion, but she did do that good song for James Cameron. Cameron.
We took out the monarchy, the U.S. has the money, but I know that you wanna be Canadian. The French took out the wine and cheese, koalas chill with the Aussies, but I know that you wanna be Canadian. The Greeks all chill with Socrates, can't build a wall like the Chinese, but I know that you wanna be Canadian. In Kenya they have safaris, we miss lots of other countries, but I know that you wanna be Canadian. Yeah, I know that you wanna be Canadian, please. Even if in winter things tend to freeze, we got the world monopoly on trees, and our country's bordered by 3 different seas.
Yeah, I know that you wanna be Canadian, please. We invented the zipper, we got expertise. We made insulin to combat disease. Yeah, I know that you wanna be Canadian, please.
We took out the monarchy, the US has the money, but I know that you wanna be Canadian. The French will get the wine and cheese, koalas chew with the Aussies, but I know that you wanna be Canadian.
Et si ce n'était pas assez, on a 2 langues officielles, l'anglais et le français. Ouh là là.
Yeah, I know that you wanna be Canadian, please. Where else do you find mounted police or go to the hospital and not pay fees? I know that you wanna be Canadian, please.
And when fresh water's in high demand, we got the world's largest supply on hand. So you know that we can make a pretty good friend, but it's even better if you can be.
We took out the monarchy, the US has the money, but I know that you wanna be Canadian. The French will get the wine and cheese, koalas chew with the Aussies, but I know that you wanna be Canadian.
So you're thinking to yourself, how do I live in this beautiful country? Well, I've got some steps for you to follow.
Step 1, lose the gun. Step 2, buy a canoe. Step 3, live multiculturally. Step 4, you ready? There is no more. We got beavers, caribou, and moose. We got buffalo, bears, and Canadian goose. And we're sorry about Celine Dion, but she did do that good song for James Cameron. Cameron.
We took out the monarchy, the US has the money, but I know that you wanna be Canadian. The French will get the wine and cheese, koalas chew with the Aussies, but I know that you wanna be Canadian. The Greeks all chill with Socrates.
Every fucking time I forget to turn my fucking speaker stand for that intro. I mean, it's fucking rocking. It's ballsin'. It's fucking awesome. And yet at the exact same time, fuck.
Yeah, that timer just kind of crept up on us, and I thought we had a few more minutes because, you know, I'm looking at my clock. But she set her timer, guys. You know, she set her timer. It's all good.
I always set a timer.
But you know what? We had time to pee, and I had time to pee, and I had time to get coffee, and she had a smoke. It was amazing. So we're here. And we're early, even.
We are?
Yeah, because it's not 4 yet.
Why does it say 6:01 on my computer?
Is you're ahead? I don't know. I mean, mine is saying 3:58, so I mean...
My computer is 3 minutes fast. What the fuck?
I mean, it could just be Ontario, you know. Sometimes Ontario's like, we're just ahead.
Hey, Red. Hey, Box.
I'm making that up. That's never happened. But I'm sure somewhere in Alberta there was some old guy griefing who was shaking his fist at a cloud going, Ontario's just being like, we're ahead. Sorry.
And why the fuck is my Streamlabs bot not automatically on? The fuck? I thought I fixed this.
So how is everybody who's come out to visit us? We got ourselves a red, we got ourselves a blue or a box, and then we got probably me and you. Oh, you know what? I haven't even shared this yet, and I'm so sorry. I'm behind the times.
That's okay.
Oof. You know what? Okay. Every once in a while, YouTube and everything else that I have just is like, I'm not going to communicate right now. So let's go back onto Twitter. I've been on Twitter way too many times. Simply because I just wanted to see somebody say whether or not Johnny won his case or not. Because I think he will. I know I'm a positive person when it comes to things that I like. But I would like to see him win his case. Just because she's a dirty bitch. She's a dirty lying bitch. And I think she puts pineapples up her yoo-ha. You're welcome. I made that one up.
Thank you for that.
You're welcome. I was comparing her to that one episode of South Park where South Park had Paris Hilton shove like a pineapple up her yoo-ha to show how much of a party girl she was.
That is truly fair. What the fuck? I've turned on Cloudbot and it's not in my chat.
I also said "you-ha" a lot today because I was like, oh well, you know, other words for the kitty, you know, for the girl parts, so people don't get flagged when they talk about that kind of stuff on the YouTubes. What is probably the weirdest and cutest terminology have you ever heard in your life for the vag, BG? Just be honest. She's thinking about that one, guys.
Honeypot.
That's not bad. That's not bad. I heard that one yet.
I wondered though, which has more pet names? Dick or vagina?
That's, yeah, you know what? I think penis. I think penis usually wins. Usually the penis wins, yeah. Because it's external. You see it more often. Well, I mean, not anymore, but back in the day.
What the fuck? Where is my bot? It's on. And it's modded. What the fuck? Why is it fucking working?
You know, I'm gonna say something that's gonna go down in history, and I hope somebody in our chat will clip it. But you know, so dick measuring contests before pants were invented. It's been interesting.
I'm curious if anybody has ever had a vagina depth measuring contest.
In torture chambers, maybe.
I mean, guys are like, I got a big dick. But imagine if a chick walked in and was like, my vagina is so deep. It is the deepest vagina you will ever have. Like, should women compete with the depth of their vajayjays? I think they should. Because dick measuring can be fun. I measured Skittles' dick to a burrito.
What kind of burrito? The frozen ones or like a real burrito?
A real burrito from Mucho Burrito.
Okay, well, there you go. That's not bad.
And we learned that not just in length, but in girth, it is the king.
It's a good thing he was a burrito and not an enchilada, though, because then he'd be slapping you a lot. It'd be flat and slapping you a lot. Sorry.
I wish his dick was a churro. That would be so tasty.
That would be crunchy. Oh, well, you know, and hard and hot and
Sweet
like a donut.
and delicious, and you can dip it in chocolate. Like, who would fuck, like, I suddenly would want all of the dicks if I could just churro the dick. I would churro the dick, and then I would want all of the dick.
I'm sure somewhere out there's a lube that's churro flavor. You might
Incredible
have
threat.
to call up Spain and be like, "Hey, Spain, do you have anything like a churro flavored lube?" And Spain would be like, "Well, hey, do you have a number? Because I'm sure we have some lube that we can definitely make for you."
Okay,
Oh my
Red,
goodness.
what the fuck? It's not
The chocolate
crunchy.
one, didn't you?
There is no cheese with churros. Like, cheese smells like feet. If the dick had cheese with it, I wouldn't want it because it would smell like feet.
That's not the kind of crunchy I meant. Sorry, Red. It's more like because it's a depending on the thickness of the churro, it's kind of like a fried donut. So it's kind of got like a crispy, flaky, is what I mean by crunchy. Not necessarily not like a crunchy bar or like cheese crunchy. Like flaky crunchy. Like
Yeah.
Kaiser crunchy. I'm weird. Sorry. Crust should be crisp.
Fuck is my chat bot not fucking working? Where the fuck did Streamlabs go? It
That's
just
good.
did they just fuck it up? I mean, because when people give me money, I get the boom. But
Did they
where?
did they have like an update or something? I don't know if they do that kind of shit.
I have no fucking idea. I'm just like, where the I'm feeling so alone.
Well, Fred, when you're single, what you're left with is technically a crunchy dick because you're not supposed to give those things blowjobs or eat them or don't eat your do not eat your spouse's dick. If it's crunchy, you're doing something wrong, and he's gonna cry a lot. Poor Red. Poor Red's husband.
You know, Red, sometimes I wonder about you.
Oh, Red, you're the best.
I don't. What the? No, I want sound. I want this thing in my boobs. I'm fucking just. I don't know. I am.
You're
not,
fine. It's just the amount of times this conversation has gone to weird cannibalism, and I'm just like, this is so awkward. Any dudes in our chat, I'm so sorry. Oh.
Oh Jesus Christ! All right, you know what? I'm just gonna open up the thing. I'm gonna open the
story?
thing. I'm
The thing?
opening the thing. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna open the thing. The thing
Mm.
will be open.
Yes.
Um.
And just watch, it'll be something weird like, something to do with taint or balls or sperm.
No, it'll probably be
You're
something
welcome.
more maddening, like breaking.
Oh,
Trudeau
well, yeah.
moves to implement national freeze on handgun sales across Canada. And you know what? I would like to say, even even Karl Marx is like, don't let them take your guns. Stay armed. Even Marxists don't believe in this. Like, what other guns is there to take that's left? And do you want me to get eaten alive by a bear? Is that what you want? I think that's what he wants. Breaking. Trudeau's COVID restrictions upheld in Parliament. Are you fucking kidding me? How is this guy this retarded? Like, this guy is about as bad as Pedo Bear. The Conservative Party led motion to revert to pre-pandemic rules and service levels for travel was defeated on Monday with nays beating out yays 202 to 111. Like, why? What is their preference? Like, what's the premise here? Like, the opposition motion put forward by Thornhill MP Melissa Landsman, I've never fucking heard of you, called on the House to revert measures that restrict unvaccinated Canadians from traveling by train or plane in their own fucking country. This I don't even think is constitutional. But they think they have the power to do this anyways. Canadians are currently experiencing unacceptable wait times at Canadian airports, even though airports are still operating at reduced capacity. Current restrictions have been cited by experts as ineffective and contributing to additional delays, costs, and confusion, as well as acute labor shortages. The motion read, What is their excuse? Canada's international allies have moved to lift COVID-19 restrictions at airports and other points of entry. It continues, saying that Canada is losing business and economic opportunities. The motion was voted down by the Liberals, NDP, Quebecois, and the Green Party. Like, what the fuck? The motion's sponsor said on Friday that the world has moved on without Canada in terms of restrictions for travel. They're not wrong. The world has embraced restriction-free travel. The Canadian Chamber of Commerce, the Airport Council, and now health experts are telling this government that their outdated COVID restrictions have to go. Who's actually telling the government to keep those restrictions? She asked during question period. And I'm curious as to the same. Who's telling them to keep it? But there was no answer. So I just don't understand. There's my Streamlabs bot. Hey, buddy. Hey there, buddy. Thank you for coming back, man. You're my friend. Did you know that? You're my friend. Streamlabs, you're my friend. I agree, bud.
Incredible threat.
Alright, so. Our country sucks. Confirmed. Biological male swimmer Leah Thomas does have unfair advantage over women competitors. How has this been confirmed, though? Let's see. Michael Joyner, a Mayo Clinic doctor, and prominent psychologist Ross Tucker have both confirmed from a scientific standpoint that biological male swimmer Leah Thomas absolutely does have a biological edge over teammates and competitors. Both experts have confirmed that testosterone is a deciding factor in Thomas's advantage, and that no amount of hormone therapy can properly mitigate that to any relevant extent. So, we know this, but even though Thomas took testosterone suppressants, which are required by NCAA, she still has an unfair advantage over the biological females she swims against. There are social aspects to sports, but physiology and biology underpin it. Testosterone is the 800-pound gorilla. Not wrong. However, what is the NCAA going to do about it? And in fact, what is the world going to do about it? What are they going to say about it? Are they going to poo-poo that? Like, are we poo-pooing that? Is that what's... I mean, I suppose that's what's going to fucking happen. Should we poo-poo that? No, but are we? Absolutely. Hi, TC.
TC. How you doing?
How you doing there, buddy? What's up, bud? Let's see. What else we got here? Texas senator claims he recommended to Biden that Uvalde school be torn down. Okay, so he's called for it to be torn down before. Why does that own people? Like, why does that matter? So you've called for it and it didn't happen. Why does it matter? It's like, this school is so shit, we should have tore it down. See, this shooting would have never happened if we fucking tore down the school. And it's like, okay, it would have happened at another school. So this is just more of talking shit. Hollywood lawyer launches PR campaign to discredit Hunter Biden laptop story. Why? Like, what is Hollywood? Why does Hollywood invest themselves in the Hunter Biden shit? It's fucking Hollywood. You make fucking movies. What stake do you have in Hunter Biden? It's not like he's fucking Johnny Depp.
And that's actually where I'd be weirded out by it in the first place. Like they're fair enough, they're entitled to their opinion, but what you're not wrong. What stakes do they have in that? You know, vote like everybody else. Otherwise, it's just an opinion.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what's Hunter Biden doing for you? Is he getting a job with Hollywood now? I wouldn't. He already looks kind of like the kind of person I wouldn't want around children.
I mean, is Hollywood thinking the government's going to shump them money if they launch PR campaigns for them?
Probably. I wouldn't at all be surprised if they aren't trying to fish for a little bit of it, because some of them I think are a little bit broke between lawsuits and people not wanting to see their movies. Like, a lot of investors like aren't just rich people. A lot of investors are other actors because they are rich people.
True.
So, I'm just saying, I'm not the only person who wasn't watching movies past COVID. Like, I stopped watching movies a long time ago because every time I'd hear a new movie coming out, you know, I'd hear the grief from the fans. I was like, yeah, they destroyed my franchise. The next one would come out. You know, I feel like they kind of raped my childhood with this one. You know? And then the next one came out, and it was just like, oh, every female character is now a Mary Sue, an unlikable Mary Sue, a bitchy Mary Sue. And it's a shame because it's not like every female character that's been pushed by, outside of movies, there's TV too. You know, I've seen some characters that I liked.
Yeah, that's fair.
But you push so much garbage. And I'm just like, you know what? As a broke person, I value my money. I very much do. And I know people who have children and do the same thing. Well, they do the same thing too. It's like, do you know how much grief I had to go through to get this money? And you want me to spend it on your crap so that you can talk down to me over a franchise that used to bring me a lot of happiness when I was a kid.
Yep.
And it's like, yeah, I'm totally gonna give you more of my money so you can abuse me more. Yeah, Hollywood's looking for money. I can see them looking for money.
Me too. They like their money.
They do.
They can spend it on fancy dinners.
Well, that and drugs and other shit that, you know, those little people wouldn't understand. You and I wouldn't really understand their needs, BG. We just wouldn't. It's a different world. That's what I keep being told.
They drink shit with diamonds in the glass, so yeah, I guess I wouldn't know.
You know, they get their coffee from cats who've consumed it, so, you know, not always. It's just I heard about that coffee, and I was like, no, thank you.
Didn't it used to be monkeys that pooped the coffee, and now it's cats?
I think, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, this article is a little delicate. And I'm not sure how I feel about it. 10-year-old boy arrested for threatening a mass shooting at his school. Like, I get that they're taking it seriously, but I'm not sure how I feel about that. Because there's two ways I could see a 10-year-old boy saying that. And it's either because it's early indication he needs some fucking mental health help, or it was because it was the most edgy thing he could fucking say while he was angry. I think it's probably he was trying to be an edgelord and found out real fucking quick that it wasn't funny. But I'm not even happy that they're releasing his name, because under the Young Offenders Act, why is his full name in the press? He's 10 years old. Why does the press have his full name?
Because the press seems to think that they are above all things. And I am grateful to anyone who goes after them for that kind of behavior.
Well,
Like,
I'm going to call this kid Bob. This kid is now Bob.
mm-hmm.
Bob, a 10-year-old fifth grader at Patriot Elementary School in Cape Coral, Florida, has now been arrested for police. I believe that should be arrested by police, after a series of texts in which he threatened to perpetuate another mass shooting. So, what was he texting in class and the kid ratted him out? Bob, a 10-year-old fifth grader. Let's see. The incident comes right on the heels of a previous incident. We already know that. In the same community, which happened on Thursday, in which a woman, Tracy Carter, threatened to show up at a graduation ceremony with a bomb strapped to her chest. So we're already seeing the copycats come out of the woodwork.
Well, not just that. The bomb strapped to your chest is kind of like, well, you want to ban the guns, so, because those aren't also kind of illegal in certain spots. But, look, I've got a bomb. As if that's not illegal, too.
Yeah. However, when police searched her home, no signs of a bomb or materials to make one were found. The threat turned out to be empty. Carter later claimed she just wanted to be heard and didn't plan or want to hurt anybody. So, edgelord. It's like, I'm saying a bunch of shit, you're not listening to me, I'm gonna fucking blow you guys up! Now everybody's looking at me. Okay, I can understand that. According to the Daily Mail, Sheriff Carmine Marceno laid into Marquez for his sickening text message after he was arrested on Saturday. Okay. He said, "This student's behavior is sickening, especially after the recent tragedy." Okay, yeah, but it's not really sickening because we haven't actually figured out if he did it out of malice or he did it for attention or he was doing it to be a fucking troll. Now, a 10-year-old boy is not going to understand the magnitude of problems that comes with being a troll about this. They're going to look for the edgiest shit and fucking text it. And there's going to be no teeth in that. It's a fucking child. So you arrest him? Like, Florida, I love you, but no. 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 This is not how we deal with children. Just no. Hey, Johnny Hellcat! Holy shit! Hi! Inked and
Have we got-
print! So, you were so sexy! I love you, Inked! And hello, Sixer. I love you too. Oh my god, all my favorite people are here. Holy shit! Hi, Hellcat! Oh my god, I'm going to octaves I never thought I would.
No, she knew she would.
Yeah.
The only thing that would make her go any higher is if Jack were to just appear in the chat suddenly, and then she'd be like 10 more octaves higher, but for wrong reasons.
You're not even wrong. But yeah, a 10-year-old, arresting him, I don't know if I'm okay with that method of dealing with it. I mean, you want them to know that this is a no-no line that you don't cross.
Mm-hmm.
But how you do that without without ending up doing the opposite of what you intended with children is really hard.
I mean, doing that to a 10-year-old is definitely going to just do nothing other than traumatize him for no reason.
Yeah.
They could have just stepped him aside, taken him to the, principal's office, or, I don't know if at 10 they have counselors or anything like that. But you set them aside in a counselor's office, and then you talk to them.
Mm-hmm. And
like
you know
10,
what? A shrink evaluation would be fine, because that would be grueling enough that the kid's like, I'm never fucking doing this again. This is fucking boring. But at the exact same time, a psychological evaluation so they can go, no, there's
It's
no
a kid being a dumb kid.
This is a kid being a kid. So you still keep your community safe, but at the exact same time, you do what you want to do with it, not just react because, oh my god, how could you say that? Like, that's not how...
The boy's also going to find that really, really boring, and that's going to be a punishment.
Yeah, exactly. They're going to be like, this is not fucking worth a man. Like, seriously. Making sure our children are safe is paramount. Yeah, and you didn't do that. You just arrested a 10-year-old. Like, you're so afraid. We will have law and order in our schools. That's not how you get it, sir. My team didn't hesitate 1 second. Not 1 second. Why not? Why didn't you hesitate? This is a child. You should have taken pause and go, what will arresting a child do? I get that you don't want another school shooter, but at the same time, can you not make 10-year-olds collateral damage? Because I can tell you, this kind of response, why do you think kids got really good at note passing and a teacher never find out? We got really good at it because we got in shit when we got caught. So what you've done is made the problem worse right now. That's exactly what you just fucking did.
Anybody else pine for the days where the cops just take you to mom and dad and let them know what you just did?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yes.
let them beat you within an inch of your life.
That's correct. Like, just kick his... let him know this is not okay.
To be fair, the reason they mentioned we did not hesitate 1 minute is, well, that whole, or we did not hesitate 1 second. Yeah, they need to separate themselves from that whole 40-minute thing.
Yep. Real consequences. Lee County will have law and order. Marcino continued. Right now is not the time to act like a little delinquent. Oh, shut up! He's acting like a typical boy! It's not funny. This child made a fake threat, and now he's experiencing real consequences. They're not supposed to experience adult consequences. That's why they're young offenders.
No, they're justifying why it is okay to basically abuse this boy is what this author is doing. They are trying to systematically excuse why in this situation it's okay to abuse this child, because that's what happened here. Because it was overblown. It's okay to punish him for doing something wrong, but when you take it too far, that is still abuse. And this person has to justify it, and the more they try to justify it, the more disgusting it is. And I don't think the people who write this crap, I don't think they understand. If you have to justify something, it was probably not okay. There was probably something wrong there.
Yep. Like, I get they don't want to be the guys that wait 40 minutes while kids are dying, but at the same time, can you not make more kids collateral damage, please?
To be fair, in a lot of cases, they don't really have much of a choice. Now, I don't know about Lee County, but remember, just about any American who follows the Second Amendment can tell you, when policies are put on in schools saying zero tolerance, they mean zero tolerance.
Yeah.
The kid who bites his Pop-Tart into the shape of a gun, gets expelled from school. The kid who points a finger at it and says bang bang gets expelled from school. In a case like this, school administrators used to have leeway in it. You know, they used to be able to, like I said, scoop you up, scoop the kid up, drop him off with his parents, let his parents know what the hell he did.
Mhm.
They don't really have that option anymore, and that comes, to be honest, that can be traced back to the '90s, where you know, the main viewpoint was, um, they need to know that there is no tolerance, no leeway, so zero tolerance policies start being implemented around anywhere. The maximum punishment for, the maximum punishment for the minimum crime, why they did it doesn't matter.
Yeah, that annoys me.
Yep. I think it should. But I mean, yeah.
Whoa.
Everyone's kind of sensitive right now as it is. I mean, you're gonna get. It's like we had this argument the other day because of the guy who. I don't know. I don't know what happened in that story too. But everyone's still hyped up, and I think that's part of the problem. Is everyone's like, oh, the next one's gonna come, and I'm like, if the next one comes, I don't know.
Okay, this scares me. So this one, the kitchen's hot. The kitchen's getting fucking hotter. Unverified recording of Chinese military officials reveal plans to prepare for war with Taiwan. Now what makes this hotter is we have a lot of Chinese practicing military fucking drills on our soil. Does that mean we helped end Taiwan?
Oh, they might blame us for it. Be easy enough to do it. Well, let us do it.
I would fucking blame us for it. Being complicit with this. Like, this escapes Canadian memory so quick that we don't have any qualms with this. How the fuck does that happen? Where Canadians forget that the Chinese are doing military drills on our soil. And we don't ask, like, we've just had fucking conservative debates and shit about leadership. Why didn't that come up? And we memory hold it. The fuck? The fuck, Canada? We've been complicit for a long time in a lot of shady fucking skeevy shit. And maybe we should pull our heads out of our asses to notice.
Yeah, I don't know what else to tell you other than that, like, if things start getting heated with Taiwan, it'll be interesting to see what Trudeau does, because he certainly likes kissing Jing's pooter. Taiwan did a very interesting little do you remember that little meme clip that they made for Trudeau?
No.
That he's kind of basically a little hooker and he'll take money from China. You've never seen that? Ooh. I don't know if I can even find it.
But what annoys me is that if we back China,
mm-hmm.
those 5 NM chips that Taiwan makes, we rely on those. Are we hoping China will just, out of the goodness of their hearts, sell it to us?
I think Trudeau is hoping that China will sell it to him. He doesn't give a shit about whether or not they sell it to Canada. He's hoping that in his deal, he'll get the chips. He doesn't give a shit on whether or not the rest of Canadians will get those chips. There's a difference. Because China, I could see China making that deal.
Yeah, maybe.
They are about downsizing the planet right now. Like, everything that they have done screams of people who are trying to low-key convince you to either castrate yourselves, kill your unborn, go gay, so castrate yourself again. No offense to you if you're gay. I'm not judging you or anything. It's just the way that they're trying to force that shit, like that's what everyone's gonna just do. Um, the the powers that be really seem to want us to just die right now, and I don't get why they're so dumb. Like, don't have babies, live in pods, eat bugs, as if that's going to give you a long life.
Well, Nancy Pelosi would know. Her husband's charged with a DUI.
Right?
Like, great. He's a fucking loser.
Actually, rumor is that it's been dropped.
Oh. Probably wouldn't surprise me. Biden booed while visiting Texas after mass shooting. Good. Kamala Harris pushes for assault weapons. Oh man, the minute you say assault weapons ban, you don't know what you're talking about, you dumb shit.
Yes, Red, I know we're indebted to China. Monetarily.
Monetarily, maybe, but everything else, no. So, morally, we should do something about that. Logistically, we should do something about that. However, the mass military of America has been depleted and gayed, and I don't even want to know what's happened to ours.
Ours, I would imagine, are keeping their mouth shut so they keep their jobs. That's pretty much what I've seen, and it's really shameful because those guys deserve more respect than that. They do.
Well, speaking of the military, U.S. Air Force Base cancels drag story hour after post-millennial exposes it. What the fuck does the U.S. Air Force Base and drag people have to do with each other?
There are schools on Air Force bases.
And apparently you can't trust them just like you can't trust the rest of them. And the fuck, a random what the fuck story for everybody. Truck crashes into house, bursts through other side, leaves no injuries. Ah, fuck! Jesus Christ.
Lucky Charms donation. I want to let you know that I told Skittles way too much about my ability to bend over the other day. He thought I was a sicko. But I reminded him that I was a sucko instead.
Okay, you know what? That would have been great if you had talked about the fact that I wish his dick was a churro with chocolate sauce. Like, I don't know if he could make that happen, but if he could, I would be okay with that. And you know what? I might even learn to actually bend over in the correct sexy fashion if his dick was just turned into a churro with chocolate sauce. Oh, at BG, I've missed your excitement. Inked, I have missed just you in general. I mean, Skittles has missed you more because you're his hall pass. But I've just missed you in frickin' general. Like, holy shit. I think it's because you're everybody's hot goddess, but I could be wrong. How the fuck does a truck crash just through a house and nobody gets hurt? Like, that's amazing. I'm just gonna go through a house. But the house did stay standing, so, you know, that's good.
My question is, when the driver crashed through the house, did you hear him yelling, "Yeehaw"?
Welcome to the swamp. Aye!
Hey, Jan.
I had a second.
Hi, Jen's brother. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Why did I find this article? Proposed law could empower Canadian border agents to search phones, emails, and texts. The bill seemingly creates a new standard for when such a search may be warranted. When law enforcement determines there are reasonable general concerns at play. Reasonable general concerns is like the vaguest of the vague in vague-ese. What the fuck does reasonable general concerns mean? It's when a cop gets curious or a cop's bored. It's like, fuck it, let me see your phone. I want to see all the cool people. You know, you might have Harry in your contacts, and I want to talk to the prince, you know? Like...
It means whatever they want it to mean.
I feel like that's not okay.
It's not.
Because,
It's not, but that's what you get when you write vague laws like that.
like, that pisses me off, because these people need to know. Like, how do Canadians not, for common knowledge, know that you might write something with good intentions, but if you leave it so vague, what's to stop someone within the next 10 years of taking it where it shouldn't go? Road to hell.
Because they write it. Because it's government. They write these rules intentionally vague, knowing that it'll happen.
As long as they're not doing cavity searches, cryptic, it's all good.
Hey, Cryptic, like... What? Okay. I mean, they have the ability to scan phones, so why do they need to... I guess that's what they're saying, is we're going to have the ability to use that. Because I'm
Yeah, I know
assuming-
she's eating.
Sorry, the chips called to me.
Mhm.
So I'm
They called her name.
assuming that when you're at the border, if they want to push that button that says scan phone, boop, they can just fucking do it. Where everybody's been warning about this social credit system, and now here it fucking is. Because I'm assuming Border Patrol isn't going to go, hey, give me your phone and what's the password to get in it. They're just going to scan the phone. Concerns for privacy and increased calls for border safety clashed in Parliament. I'm glad there was at least a clash on March 31st when an unusual bill was proposed in the Canadian Senate, S7, which was drawn up to address concerns about the transfer of digital materials like child pornography. Okay, so the road to hell, good intentions, child porn would be good intentions, would allow border law enforcement to search travelers' electronic devices and look through their emails, photos, and text messages if needed. But here's the thing.
Not intentions, excuse.
It's an excuse. Because here's the thing. Why do you need to check for materials, digital materials like child pornography? Because it's digital. You don't need to transfer those files by driving the fuck up here and meeting with the person that wants them. So even the prescribed remedy to something like transferring child porn, it's not like Americans or foreigners or whatever you fucking either or cartels or anything are going, we're going to traffic in child porn and we're going to do it with the phone. Okay, so you are going to take this phone over the border and give it to their client. So then they can't tell that we did it with a digital footprint. Like, is that what they're actually proposing is happening right now?
Hi, by the way, Blue.
Arrow.
Box! What did I do? What did I break? What's not working?
Nothing.
Oh, okay. That's
I
cool.
was gonna go over like the Taiwan thing, but then decided not to.
Oh, you should go over the Taiwan thing. Tell me about Taiwan.
You might know things we don't know, because there's always stuff we don't know.
Exactly.
Well, the thing is with the Taiwan, if China attempts to take Taiwan, either way, whether we do something or whether we don't do something, we're fucked, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Like, the economy will go to a standstill because the first thing China would do would cause a blockade.
Yep.
And it's not just like you mentioned the 5 nanometer chips. It's not just that. They produce most of the semiconductors used. The 5 nanometer ones are just the most advanced ones.
Yep. And that is used in all of the things. Anything and everything all of
Basically
the
everything
time.
on my desk.
Yeah. Anything and everything all of the time is produced by Taiwan.
Yep.
Which means it's in our interest to get our guns and go and march.
Yeah.
And we're not going to because we're cowards.
Well, it's not just
Very
that.
much.
It would also be in our best interest to try to see if we can, I don't know, create other sources other than just Taiwan. I know that's a down the roads kind of plan, but I'm just saying someone should start having conversations.
They have started to, but this dependency on Taiwan has been around since the fucking 90s. and probably
Yeah.
earlier.
Like that to me is problematic right away. Like the fact that they left that alone for that long.
Yeah.
That stuff I really kind of wish I'd known about my politicians, and I didn't, because I didn't, like everybody, we haven't really been paying attention the way that we all kind of are now. Because it's fucking with us. Funny how
Well,
that works.
when we were a kid, I was used to seeing me and my brother would play a game, made in Taiwan or China.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever we got something from the dollar store, we'd go, where do you think it was made from, Taiwan or China? And we'd make bets before we flipped it over and would see made in. Every once in a while it was Japan, but mostly it was made in Taiwan or made in China. Like, Silly Putty was made in Taiwan. Plastic thingamajiggers is made in China. But this is like, we've developed so far, but we've decided that our developing is based on what Taiwan does. At what point did we not go, but just in case Taiwan gets fucked up, we're going to produce something. I mean, they may have held the patent on it, but how did nobody go over there and study how to make these things? I mean, they come over here to learn to do stuff that they don't have.
And our society almost frowns upon that kind of thing. Like if you're seen doing that kind of thing, they're like, "Well, you're appropriating." I'm like, "Damn right I am, because it worked."
Yeah.
I don't understand why that's an issue to begin with. I actually kind of don't. Like, are you mad at me because you think I'm not going to give the inventor credit for it? Because I don't have a problem with giving the inventor credit for anything. I've never claimed that I've invented shit. I'm just using it because it works. That's what the appropriation argument's been doing with me lately. I'm just like,
So basically, Box is an Asian.
Wait, what?
You're Asian now because you've appropriated so much of their culture that you identify as an Asian, right?
I don't think that's how it works.
Oh. Works like that with haircuts. I mean, you got a bunch of tech stuff and you know how to use it. You've appropriated so much of Taiwan. You should speak Taiwan. You should learn Taiwanese. Do you eat Thai food too?
No.
Okay. Is it because it's super spicy and you'll
I
die?
also don't have a semiconductor power plant in my backyard, so...
Okay, well, that's, I mean, that would have... If you did, that would have been convenient. I'm just saying, so maybe, mistakes were made.
You know, that even starts the question of, have you ever even had Thai food? Because Thai food just doesn't
No.
pop up everywhere. You know?
I've had Thai food. It's spicy as fuck.
Hmm.
I kind of want.
It's not bad. If you ever get a chance to try it, it's not bad.
I kind of now want some Thai noodles. Like,
Pad Thai. You gotta go for your Pad Thai.
oh, I love pad Thai. I am a Taiwanese.
She's appropriating your culture.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Yeah, she's also buying ingredients from people who like selling their shit. Yeah, I had some lady give me dirty looks because I sometimes buy ingredients from the Asian section, and I'm like, listen, I like the flavor of their vegetables. I like some of their vegetables. You want to talk to me about appropriation? Well, you know what? You should talk to the farmer who's selling me these things because he's happy to sell me his produce, and probably would like you to fuck off because you're cock blocking a sale. And that's the truth of it.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
No
No,
Asian outside of their little princess pumpkin who just went to college gives a shit about what food I'm eating.
Anybody wants to fuss about the culture that your food came from and any kind of cultural appropriation horse shit, just look at them and say, so you're Canadian, right? When are you going back to Britain?
Right?
Oh, wait, no. Wait. Take your ass back to France.
Right?
Or Scotland. Or,
I just
Wherever
like
the
food.
hell they came from.
yeah.
Anybody wants to start a fight with me over food is gonna lose. Because I'm like, listen, it's food. Go fuck yourself. Foodies live.
And that is
Right?
why Canada is the world's tossed salad.
Yeah, I had a couple of Karens
Well,
give me the dirt look, big draw. It was funny.
Wait,
Dirt look.
if we're the world's tossed salad, does that mean we're actually the world's butthole?
Yep.
Cool.
Some people use syrup. Some people use jelly. My girl uses jelly.
Well, yeah, I don't like syrup. All right. This next article is rated somewhat PG-13 for truckers, so it's his thing if he wants to stick around and face it or deafen himself.
I'll be alright.
All right. Middle school librarian defends pro-prostitution book in library and says many students are sex workers. What do you think, drawn and quartered? Skin alive? Feet to the fire forever?
Sorry.
I think send her down to the opposite side of the state. Let them deal with her.
I'm okay with this. She started talking about how there's kids who come to the library who do sex work. And this makes them feel validated. Are you fucking kidding me? Oh, trucker. In London County, Virginia.
Loudoun County.
Loudon County. I've known that name. I know that name.
You know that name because that's where the dad got drug out because his daughter got anally raped.
Right, I remember that. So in the Dirtyville of Virginia, a teacher at Sterling Middle School contacted police after a conversation with Stephanie Guido, her school's librarian, who said that a pro-prostitution book belonged in the school's library because she alleged many of the students in the school are sex workers. The conversation started when the teacher asked Guido, okay, if the school had a copy of a book which had recently been flagged by a concerned parent on Twitter called Seeing Gender. The book has a chapter on sex work entitled Sex Work is Not a Bad Term. I feel my blood boiling. She started talking about how there's kids who come to the library who do sex work, and this makes them feel validated. If that is what makes you feel validated, you need therapy and lots of it. People are more than their fucking genitals. Like, teaching kids that all that they are to validate themselves is doing sex shit. Like, what does that do for their self-worth? Like, come on. As a teacher, if you get an individual student coming to you because they're abused, you have to go to the police immediately. Yes. The Daily Wire further reports that Guido did not name specific students except one who had passed through the school about 6 years ago. Recounting her conversation with Guido, the teacher said, I said, this is like a textbook for how to do this, including selling your body for hormone replacement therapy. She said, there's no pornography in it, so it doesn't matter. So kids are being taught to sell their body so that they can pay to have their bodies mutilated. But she thinks it's okay because it's not porn. How fucked does your mind have to be to think this is okay? Trucker, if you'd like to take a few minutes just to tell me what you would do to this individual, I think I would enjoy it. Get your kids out of school. Get your kids out of school. Get your kids out of school.
I can tell you, I will make sure she lives a very long, healthy life. It will not be pleasant, but it will be long and healthy.
I love it already. It's like extending the quadriplegic's life. Wait, she's not one yet, but you know what I mean.
Well, the thing is, it actually boils down to one quote from a damn cartoon bird in a movie. You know? Because some dude is saying genies aren't allowed to kill, but this cartoon bird says you'd be surprised what you can live through.
Sorry,
And if somebody can tell me the name of the movie, if somebody in the chat can actually tell me the name of the movie that came from, I'd actually be much appreciated. All I know is it's a cartoon bird, and Gilbert Godfrey was the voice.
Iago?
Gesundheit.
That's a bird's name. One passage out the book read, a person may exchange sex or sexual activity for things they need or want, such as food, housing, hormones, drugs, gifts, or other resources.
Yeah, forgetting the whole gender activity I throw out the window, or, you know, let's go ahead and throw the whole gender argument out the window, even in and of itself on that. This book is telling them prostitution is illegal in 49 states. In the one state where it is legal, in the one state in the U.S. that prostitution is legal, there are caveats. They're only allowed in certain places.
I feel like school's not one of them.
true, and neither is Virginia. And that's where I'm getting at, though. It's a matter of, yeah, it's not legal. So this book is encouraging children to break the law.
Yep. Sedition. Another stated that prostitution is a job like being a store clerk, an architect, or a freelance writer. I feel like sex work has nothing to do with any of those in those categories, because sex changes you every time you have it, and it's not a fucking PlayStation. And teaching kids that it's just like being a store clerk. No, it's not. Because you actually have your dignity and respect and your mental fucking health with it. We all, unfortunately, have to do work to make a living. Sex should not be one of them. Some of us hate our jobs, and some of us love them. The same goes for those who do sex work. Sadly, sex work is generally misunderstood. It's not misunderstood, it's clearly defined. You just don't like the answer, so you want to change it.
Basically, this person should not be allowed near children. And also,
This is a
wow, someone really didn't want to be a librarian.
This is a fucking middle school teacher talking about this.
No, it's a middle school librarian.
No, it's a middle school teacher that was advocating for it to the librarian.
Oh, I read it wrong earlier.
Yep.
I thought the teacher reported her.
I don't know, maybe I've read it wrong. Either way, this should not be happening, period. Whether it's a teacher or a librarian, a fucking middle school!
Yeah, that's what I mean.
According to the Daily Wire, on the recording, Deputy Jamie Halbert, a former school resource officer, useless job, for the middle school, notes that the school is in a rough neighborhood. That's not an excuse. Where detectives have reason to believe child trafficking has occurred. You don't say. I feel like
Sterling, Virginia is not a rough neighborhood.
But
Sterling, Virginia is one of the richest suburbs in the Washington, D.C. area. You lying cunt.
But what I find about this is we have reason to believe child trafficking has occurred. Well, if there's a librarian openly saying this, then you're probably fucking right. So do something about it. I realize it's easier for me to yell do something, but fuck. Fuck shit ass bitch. Like, honestly, no matter where you fall on the gender and a hormone therapy shit, you should at least fall on the right side of this is not okay.
Yeah, I stand with credible threat. If you know a bunch of kids in your school that are somehow magically sex workers and you haven't reported it to the police yet, you should maybe see some jail time.
I agree. I think they should see more than fucking jail time. They should be removed from society and then removed from their happy, cushy body.
I think if a teacher knows that one of the teacher's students is a quote unquote sex worker and does not report it as such, that teacher shall be treated as one of that student's customers.
You know what? I agree with that. I agree with that completely. Because it's just fucking wrong. Yeah, okay, you're right. It was a middle school librarian defending it. Like, fuck off. Honestly.
Which makes it worse because the teacher, which actually kind of makes it worse, the teacher has access to her students. A librarian has access to all of the students.
Yep.
That anyway. Somebody outside. Sorry.
Oh, this is even better. Another one. Like, I'm just scrolling down and more. School offers gender expression kits with breast tape, encourages violence for misgendering. Let's see where this one is. Get your kids out of school. Get your kids out of school. Get them out. Take away their funding. Get your kids out of the school. Just get them out. Like, fuck. Oh, okay. Not surprised. Okay, this one I'm not as surprised as Loudoun County. A school in California. Accolades Union High School District. So they're like, tape your boobs, hide your dick, and fuck people up that misgender people. Yeah, that's you got a level head on your shoulders. This shit is driving me crazy. I keep reading it and it's making my mom dart go off. Like, it's making my mom dart just fucking ugh. Let's see.
So I think there's going to be a new trend from lefty dudes. Where so you remember back in the day when the fatties from the left were like, you know, the feminist fatties were like, we're gonna beat the shit out of Scales with hammers, as though that's the response that you should go with. They're beating up AR-15s with hammers, and I'm not even sure if they are AR-15s because the left doesn't know the difference between guns anyway. But yeah, you're gonna see a trend of people beating up their guns with hammers. I don't know if that's a safe thing to do, but good job. Waste of your money. Just sell it.
Kind of hope what happens on that sense is there's a lady running for the state senate in Virginia. I can't remember if it was Sandy Hook or Parkland, but she sat there and made this big speech, big video, talking about this is her husband's AR, and you know, she never wanted him to buy it, and now he doesn't even want it anymore because of what's happened, so she's going to destroy it, and accidentally commits a federal crime by turning it into a short barrel rifle.
Yeah. So this one is interesting. So I remember when and I'm gonna hate for myself for saying this, but remember in Rebel News and everybody was like, we can't exercise free speech about the PPC and shit because we're getting arrested and barred from these places and free speech, blah, and everybody's like, heh heh. Well, now law groups alarmed over arrest of lawyer outside Ford rally near Hamilton Airport. Now, I wonder if they're going to say why she was arrested. They're just pissed she was arrested in general. She's from Toronto, apparently. Let's see. The Criminal Lawyers Association and Women in Canadian Criminal Defense, WICCD, are you fucking kidding me? Are criticizing the arrest of a Toronto-based lawyer near an Ontario progressive conservative oxymoron campaign stop in Hamilton last Thursday. We are so alarmed that any citizen, I don't believe you, let alone a member of our profession, a lawyer, should we roll out the red fucking carpet, would be treated by police seemingly on behalf of an elected official, a populist, with such disregard for the electoral process and the right to exercise free speech. Both are cornerstones of our democracy. And I'm like, I would like to remind you that in Canada we don't have free speech, and you're the one that is stifling free speech. And yet now you're like, free speech! Because suddenly the arm of the government is pointed at you. Do these people have no fucking self-awareness at all? Nothing. None. Zip. It just goes in one ear, out the other. No two brain cells to rub together. Like, we've seen this before, just from our side. Now we're seeing it from their side. You think maybe they might get the message that stopping free speech at all, once you arm that gun, it at some point will rotate, turn around, and shoot you in the face. So stop it. Saad says, this is one that was arrested. Saad said last week, how do I say that? S-A apostrophe D.
See, if that apostrophe was an I would have said it was Saeed.
Right? But it's Sa apostrophe D. So Said, fucking no.
No, I don't know.
Said last week she tried to enter a rally for PC leader Doug Ford near the Hamilton airport. She said she RSVP'd to attend the event, but staff didn't allow her inside and they called the police on her for trespassing. She was eventually arrested before being released off the property and given a ticket for trespassing. I want to know why they didn't want her in there. Is it because of what she says? Like, what is it? Hamilton police initially said she was arrested for blocking off a road and being on private property amid a protest. There was a protest? Saeed and the group that organized the protest. Okay, so they removed her because, like, dude, you're disrupting this. Okay, now I understand why she was arrested. Saeed and the group that organized the protest said that wasn't true. They said she was not part of the group protesting and was arrested well before any protest occurred. Now, are they telling the truth or are they leaving out crucial information to change my bias? Who knows? Said said she believes she wasn't allowed entry into the event and was eventually arrested because of her criticism of Ford and other political leaders. She has a large social media presence, so you think you're more than you think you are, for her cartoons and videos that criticize politicians and people protesting public health measures. Oh, so you're part of the left. Why do I think then you didn't organize that protest? Criticize politicians and people protesting public health measures. Why would you criticize them? I suppose that's only for the people that believe in that, I suppose. On Monday afternoon, Hamilton police released a clarification saying Saeed was asked to leave the event, and when she didn't comply, she was removed. Sounds about right. So she's going, I'm the innocent person. I was told to leave, but I said no. And then I was arrested, and this is a disgrace that I was not allowed to disrupt your rally with my fucking ideas. Well, I'm sorry, but this is not America. When people say leave and you don't, you are removed. Interesting. We just learned this lesson with the fucking trucker thing. They said move, we said no, we lost. Okay? So maybe you should think about things. Maybe instead of cheering that the trucker rally was removed, you should think, people are expressing themselves and using their free speech, and when they're forcefully removed, that's bad. But no, you didn't think about that. So now you are trying to do something, and you're removed, And you're like, this is a disgrace. Well, that's what we've been saying since February, like, since ever. But since March. We've been saying this since fucking March. Sometimes, when you need a little stress relief, you just need some Alchema fucking Hall.
Mm-hmm.
Have I been buffering this entire time?
Well, you were ranting a little bit and you were reading your article.
Uh-oh.
All good. It's all good.
Okay. It's not all good. I want to know if I've been buffering or not. Like, it says excellent connection, but is it though? I don't know. Big Dro.
No, it's Monday, Big Dro. I don't do Mondays. I do Wednesdays.
Dro,
Thanks for asking, though.
have we been buffering at all that you've noticed? I mean, nobody's been complaining about it. I mean, we've been hitting some subject matter that YouTube's going to be pissed at me for, but I mean,
Nothing that other people aren't doing.
and they're probably getting fucking beat on by the gauntlet. Maybe I should take Rand Paul's advice and just move to Rumble. No buffering for me. Okay, good. So it's just buffering for me, which is annoying because I'm the one fucking streaming. But okay. Box, not for me either. That's good. That's good. Okay. All right. Because I got worried because the chatting kind of slowed and then the buffer hit and I'm like, oh my god, are we talking? Are we fucking our shit up? Should I just bring this to a close so it's not just dead air and stupid conversation? It's all filled with content. Ugh, you gotta have the content just right in your face. In your face. Fucking content. Yeah. Ozzy, what do you want? Dude, just because I'm wearing a headset with kitty cat ears does not mean I'm a kitty cat. Okay? Yes, I'm still your fucking owner. I haven't turned into a cat. Stop sniffing my face.
Somehow I get the feeling I'm gonna have to wait until Friday again until I find out what happened with the Johnny Depp Amber Heard, because for some reason I'm not getting a yes or no. No confirmed yes or no. Did he win? Did he not
You're
win?
not going to get a confirmed yes or no because now it's, quote, going to jury.
The court doesn't reconvene until tomorrow morning. The jury is deliberating.
And today's
Okay,
Memorial Day stuff.
Yeah,
Today's
that makes
federal
more
holiday.
sense. Yeah, that makes more sense. Alright. I'll be more patient. We just want to know. And then we, maybe...
Yep. I love cats. Me too, Drew. Me too. Ozzy right now is putting his claws into the side of my leg and it's getting really annoying. Please
Yeah,
stop.
it's just been one of those things. It's been one of those missions that I've made it a point, and I'm not doing it to be irritating to Tug, but I'm still impressed with the fact that Amber Heard's lawyer unironically mentioned that umbrella guy in their closing statement. He is not wrong in the sense that the media has completely ignored the fact that, the internet exists and we have full communities of people who can, talk about this shit and promote it and,
Make money off it?
No, not just make money off of it, but also keep the conversation going so that people can watch what's actually going on. Like, you can literally have a channel where people feature lawyer shit. There are people who've been watching this case from day one. And that's why so many people know what's going on with the Amber Heard and Johnny Depp case. That's why the media is like, well, why are so many people on Johnny Depp's side? Because I don't think people knew how easy it was for so many women to just exploit the system. And that's why I'm hoping he wins. I stand by that. It's It's because there's too often that the system is exploited. And abuse is abuse. It doesn't matter what gender you are. Abuse is abuse.
What does Jen? So what do you? How do you think the trial will end, Jen? Big Joe is very curious.
So I am sincere in the thinking that I don't really know. It's going to be an interesting one. Like, I don't know that either party's going to get entirely what they want. But I think Johnny kind of already has in his own way, because everybody now knows that Amber Heard was an abuser. You know, they know that she was the abuser. I think he's going to win his case, at least in the defamation, because she fucked up. She literally confessed to the fact.
She admitted she did the article, and thusly that proves that, you know, she did this.
Yeah. And she did it with the intent to do harm.
Yep.
And that's what matters when it comes to you know, their laws. But it's not just that. Like, I do want the world to see that, yes, abuse does happen across the board, and it should be something that should be okay to discuss if it needs to be discussed. It shouldn't be a shameful conversation. It's just not something you talk about all the time. You know, you're in the middle of of dinner. Maybe not the best conversation to start with. Warm up to that one. But it's not something you should feel ashamed of. And if you need to have the conversation at dinner time, then you have the conversation at dinner time. But abuse happens across the board, and I hope that if he wins his case, that they go after her for it. It's not that I want to just hammer in on Amber. It's unfortunately in our world, you have to make a sacrifice of the one idiot who made her own bed, because it lets other women like her know that they can't continue to do this kind of stuff. Because what happened to Johnny, in all honesty, what happened to Johnny was still sad. But what happened to Johnny is small in comparison to what women like Amber Heard do to men like Johnny on a regular basis. And sometimes vice versa. You know, when it's the man doing it. The only difference, though, is that we've been programmed in our society to just automatically, you know, take the woman's side in consideration, at least for the last 20 years. You know, so I stand by the opinion that, you know, when the girl is a cuckoo, crazy, violent bitch, and dude is actually afraid for his life. It's that one time where I wish there was that exception where he could at least defend himself long enough to get away without having repercussions. It is. Because our legal system doesn't protect guys from that.
But women can do it.
Yeah. It's just because women have children, you know? And sometimes those children end up being boys.
True. Unless they abort them.
Yeah. You know, it's not just that we have girls, we also have boys, you know? Honestly, a lot of stories that I was reading based off of this came from guys who were in similar situations where the only reason they really got away was because they had older sisters. That's depressing. I mean, it's good to know that they had the older sister, you know. But it should be okay to, yeah, I don't know. I hope he wins his case. I just do. I hope he does. I hope it starts a conversation. At least where abuse is the conversation. That's where equality should always be taken into consideration. You know, as long as you can get down to, you know, the nitty gritty of the story to find out what actually happened. You know, what's going on in the relationship. If you know that there's abuse, there should be some help for whoever the abuse victim is.
Sometimes, maybe.
Not always, I know.
Sometimes, maybe. Policy and law can't fix it. I think mothers out there should teach their little fucking girls that if you're gonna be wanted to treat like that little princess that you feel like you are, then you have certain rights and responsibilities to the men that we share the planet with. And I think, moms, to your fucking boys, you kick their fucking ass if they hurt a girl. Just that, because that'll teach them. They don't want to get their ass kicked, you know. So you don't fuck, you know. And you teach women to respect and protect the men that protect them. To be grateful for things. To be honest always. Don't lie. How about that one? Don't lie. These simple fucking things that we can drill into our kids. This philosophical or moral or whatever framework that you yourself who rock the cradle can rule the world. And I think it has to start with that more than I think we need to reform our entire legal system. Do I think it needs to be fixed? Yeah. Somewhat. But not as much as most people. Like, you know what? I don't necessarily think that it's a bad thing that men are encouraged not to rape or strangle their wives by getting an extra bit of time for it in prison. Because I think men can do a lot of fucking damage because men are fucking strong and shit. And it's good to just be like, no, I don't want to, it's not fucking worth it. Like, don't hit the bitch, it's not fucking worth it. However, the exact same token, if a woman lied, I think we should do the exact same thing we would to a guy who raped or abused her. I think we should do the same to her. And I think that would encourage people to tell the truth. That would encourage men to keep their own strengths and tempers and whatever in check. And I think things would balance out. Because here's the funny thing. Amber Heard could show people that actually women can be fucking terrible. You know, we could show people that. And we could change the legal system to compensate for that, because that's what we do. And usually what happens is we overcompensate. So why it was that women could, you know, be saved in the legal battle thing is because we designed it to be that way, because women were getting fucked over. But we overcompensated. So now what's going to happen is, once again, for the legal system, we're going to overcompensate so that men are protected from fucking dirty women. And then at some point, men are going to fucking use that to their advantage, and we're going to have to come back to this table all fucking over again and push it back. And so every side is just going to keep creeping up there and winning, so we stay a little bit in the center. So I think a lot of this can't just be relied upon to be fixed by law, because law will continue to overcompensate on the right, and then overcompensate on the left, and then overcompensate again on the right. A lot of it has to do with us and how we pass on a framework of, no, you don't do this. Uh-oh.
Lucky Charms donation.
Oh, you got
Big
a stream
Dro,
ups.
loves to shove an amber up my herd. Hopefully, L, there will be some
Hi, Big
Aquaman
Dro,
so that I can
loves
have
to
some
shove
kind
an
of lube.
ember up my herd. Hopefully there will be some Aquaman so that I can have some kind of lube. There's not going to be an Aquaman 2 past 10 minutes, so that's kind of like the lube you get at, like, a trucker stop. Good luck with that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll just look into the law. I'm getting real about this, because I think it would better served raising our women right and raising our men right, and we are more truthful. We demand truth, even if we lose in the end. You know, truth no matter what.
See, I get what you're saying, But unfortunately, I don't think that that's really like that's the first thing we should be doing anyway. But in terms of the law, I do think the law has to change at least a little bit.
I
At
think
least
it does
in
a
terms
little
of
bit too, but that's not what's going to happen.
Yeah.
The laws never changed, just a little bit. It's changed to overcompensate for what it lacked.
But yeah, it needs to at least a little bit change. At least in terms of abuse, you know, maybe in terms of family court system, but that's actually a different conversation. Even if I like to think it's similar, it's not.
You're not wrong. Trucker, do you have any take for the men on this planet?
Did he come back? Did you come back?
I don't know. That's why I was just calling his name to see if he would unmute.
Oh, low key for stream community, but I got it split for like 5 to 10.
Oh,
Is what he said. So he's gone. We have lost ourselves a tracker. Hey,
oh, not
are we
the
going to do?
truck.
Hey, we got a Johnny Blaze. Holy crap, Johnny!
Yeah, Johnny. Oh, Johnny Blaze. We got a Johnny Hellcat and a Johnny Blaze.
We got visitors today. Oh my goodness.
I feel so special. I love you guys.
I mean, I don't want to spend too much time on Johnny Depp and Amber Heard because, like, part of the reason I'm hoping for this thing to be done is just honestly so it can actually move on. But at the same time, I stand by the other thing too. Like, it's just by move on, I mean so that like folks like Johnny and actually his kids, if anything, it's got to be just shit for his kids, you know, when he probably would rather be spending time with them. Yeah, I do hope it ends soon so that he can move on with his life. I think he'll bounce back. Johnny seems like a fairly tough guy, you know. As much as I think he's a wuss in terms of like masculinity, like I don't think he's Arnie. Some people are strong because despite the fact that we've been hurt a lot in our lives by the people in our lives, we learn how to grow deeper roots. And by deeper roots, we surround ourselves with people who do love us, so it becomes a little bit easier to bounce back. But, you know, Johnny Depp's lucky. He is a celebrity. He does have people who watch out for him just based off of that. But he also comes across as a guy who's made a deep impression on people because he starts relationships with people. Even when you're little, you know, you make relationships with people. That's why people will watch out for you more often than just because you're a celebrity. But if you're not Johnny Depp and you don't have that support system, it takes a while to bounce back. You know, to trust other people, to let other people in your life. Especially after something like that. Because mental and physical abuse doesn't need to be something that causes just straight out bruises. It's the control. Part of it is really just the control, that you don't realize you gave up so much of it of yourself, and you get those mixed feelings and things like that. I don't know that level of abuse like Johnny has, but like I listen to people talk about shit too. But yeah, I hope he can move on and the thing ends and we can be like, yeah, I stand with Johnny Depp. And Amber Smooth Turd. I've changed the name to Smooth Turd because there's this meme called a Wojak. I don't know if you've ever heard of a Wojak before, Blind Girl.
I've heard of a Wojak.
Okay. Well, you know how there's the smooth brain Wojak? Amber Heard is a smooth brain. She is a smooth turd brain. Okay, so the smooth brain...
Jesus. freaking sound.
Oh no.
Lucky
Someone in the
Charms
chat will
Charms
explain
donation.
Scoop
Big
Break.
underscore
Oh,
girl.
dear.
I said go
gotta-
Rockies to cryptic,
Yep.
but I
Yeah.
really want to shove
Alrighty.
raw mountain oysters down my
Ah,
throat.
Big Girl said I said go
Warm
Rockies to
Harry
cryptic,
Testicle.
but I secretly
Nom,
want to
nom,
shove
nom, nom.
raw
Too
Rocky
much
Mountain oysters
information?
down my throat. I don't want to do that. Thank you very much. My brother's hearing this. Hot, warm, and creamy cow testicles. Nom, nom, nom. Too much information. I think whatever floats your boat. I mean, if you're that hungry, there's better parts to a cow, you know. Steak is delicious.
It is. Dirty Albertan.
I know, right? It's so expensive even here, though. It's like one of those ironies that, you know, we make, well, we sell the gas, and we sell the steak, but it's expensive as shit here.
Yep.
Ugh.
Gotta make a living. I mean, those cows gotta eat. And all their moo. You know what? Maybe the steaks are so expensive because of secret carbon tax because moos fart.
That is pretty much 100% what it's about. It is. It 100% is to do with that. But I think they might have gone after one of our meat packing plants. And to be fair, they've had issues before. So while I do get that causes problems for the industry, there's times where you'll be like, okay, this is going to be a pain in the dick, but it's worth dealing with to fix this problem. If you know what I mean.
How did we get on the subject of... Oh, because Big Dro, the Amber Turd. Right, yes. Now I remember how we got on to cows and carbon tax and meat.
Amica cream. Yeah, I know, right? Oh, the amount of times Elaine said Amica cream was amazing. They should have done a counter for it. Amica cream, the Amica cream, the Amica cream. Have you ever heard of that shit before? Amica cream?
No. But
No? It's a miracle
I
cure.
just had a stoner wormhole. Does everybody want to travel down my stoner wormhole?
Alright. We are going to places never before seen before.
Okay, this is stoner wormhole moment. Maybe I'll make this a new fucking thing that we do. But okay. I was just thinking with the increased amount of she-males out there, okay? More and more people are going to become plastic surgeons to paste on the titties, right? And I mean, what do you call a doctor that graduated at the very bare bones of their class? The bottom, a doctor. So, imagine you're a trainee girl now, and you got your new titties, and you walk out of there, and a dude goes, you know, tweak, and then it falls off, and it's because you went to a shitty surgeon that sucks. Because there's going to be more likelihood you're going to find one of those discount plastic surgeons. And the discount plastic surgeon will probably be a service they offer to the blacks because the blacks are in the minority and poor and shit. So you're going to have discount titties that just fall off when you tweak them. And also, Jen, I need your opinion about something that I also thought of. Let's say you're arms killer, okay? And arms killer finally loses his virginity.
Woohoo!
But then he wakes up the next day and realizes that wasn't a real vagina and it's a dude. That's transitioning. Did he actually lose his virginity? Because it's not a real vagina, it's a man-made one, which is just like putting your fist over your dick.
He did, but at the same time, though, he's entitled to feelings of feeling kind of violated. Like, he would have still lost his virginity, because the act of sex is part of the act of sex. Like, just because my first time might have been butt sex, doesn't mean I didn't have a first time.
Yes, it does, because butt sex is celebrated by the Catholics. because they can have butt sex and still be a virgin and go to heaven. So that's why Catholics love it in the butt.
Yeah, I don't agree with that. Like, I get where they think that that's the case, but I've always considered that to low-key be lying to yourself.
It's a loophole.
Bigger question is, what happened if he wakes up in the morning, she's gone, but her tits are still there?
Well, I mean, you know, I've seen people use those to hold their phones, so he could always use it as his phone holder.
Oh, so you've met my wife.
You have to go to Mexico for boobs implants. Oh my god, so the bad doctor that's giving you discount titties. He's in fucking Mexico? Does that mean you got like cartel titties or something?
See, Johnny gets it. He's like, anal is still sex. I'm like, yes.
But it's
technically
not sex
blowjobs
in the
are still
vagina.
sex too.
Because
I mean, I just don't get anything from it.
Because the vagina, the cherry pops, you lost your virginity, whereas the dick, it has to be in a vagina for the virginity to be lost at the same time as the woman has it to be lost, not the butt. Which means guys that were gay from birth are still virgins. They die virgins. I mean,
yeah, I think those are lonely people, like trying to figure out some way to live with their life and finding some means to do it. You know what? That's fine.
This blacklist pot has just kicked in, and these fucking wormholes just made me spin around for a minute. That made sense when I saw it. It's also like 7:45, and I really want to turn my air conditioner back on because it's still hot when it usually gets cold around this time.
Yeah, it's been a weird week for warm and cold and warm and cold, but we had rain, lots of rain. Did you guys get rain?
A little bit. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go turn on my AC. I will leave you lovely people with my better half, Jen.
Hello. How are you? She's never really that long doing that kind of stuff, so there's really not much to worry about there. So PG wants to mess with Eminem's wormhole? Well, of course she does. I just don't know that Eminem wants her to fiddle with his wormhole. Not every guy's into that, you know? You guys don't get rain? Yeah, just it's more like when you get rain, you record it on the map as holy shit, we got some rain. I'd send you snow, but I don't have that kind of power. I don't know what Monkey's thinking, because if I had the power to shift our snow anywhere, I would leave it there, because it always comes back. But, you know, I don't have such said powers, and, you know. If I did, I'm sure I wouldn't be in Canada anymore, because someone in the US would be like, that is a weapon Canada's not allowed to have, someone who shifts weather bending bitch. No, you come down here. And then I would die from heat.
Oh no, don't die from heat. I turned on the AC. It'll be better soon. It's funny, every time I turn on the AC, right?
Mm-hmm.
Both cats stand like brothers in crime and look into my bedroom before they walk in and take my side of the bed.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Elsa was Norwegian, Red. I know you're just joking, but I don't have a tolerance for sudden weather temperature shifts. That's kind of my grift. It's not that I don't want to go to a place that's hot. It's just when you go to a place that's hot, you don't have the spring to summer shift. You know, you don't have the exiting winter into spring to summer. It's usually, oh, I've just come from a colder place to, holy hell, that's hot. There's a wall of heat.
Yep.
And that's usually where I hesitate. If you go through like a decent airport, like the place that, that you land in has a decent airport, they always have some air conditioning. It's usually not that bad. But it's when you leave the building and you're like, oh, I have to figure out how to deal with this. I just don't adjust quickly. That's all. Like some people seem to take like a day to really kind of adjust. I feel like I take 2 weeks, and that's kind of the end of the season, so.
I get that. Yep.
You know what I mean?
Oh, I totally.
I'd love to go to a lot of hot places. It's just, how do I ease myself into this temperature change without dying?
It was negative fuck you weather out, and now it's plus go to hell weather. So I don't. Whichever curse is coming, just hit me, I guess.
You do know what I mean. It's not an opposition to heat or even to cold. I actually have a preference for cold, though. I know why you don't, because you have your reasons. But for me, cold just means I add more layers. And then if it gets that cold, well, you add more layers. Eventually, you just become a walking ball of. You kind of look like your old version of a clothing pile.
And you more look like a big ball of lint, if I'm being honest.
Overweight thing, but I will, goddammit.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ, wow.
My brother says hi.
I've noticed. That was just immediate and...
Girl?
Yes?
She says yes?
Oh my god, what the fuck? That was adorable. Really? Oh my god! I know, right? I mean, wow, I couldn't hit. I mean, I'm his fan too, and I love him so much. He's just so famous. Okay, I can't, but there's a moment there where I tried, and I can't. I just, this has gone too far. I feel violated in my brain in places that I've never been violated before. Let's see. I already kind of winced over the national handgun freeze, which that's just fucking great. You can't have handguns. I agree, sir.
That is my brother's version of The Lion King. You're welcome. Tickets for next Thursday at his place on projectzomboy.com.
Jesus.
I just got in trouble, actually, for saying stuff in the open chat.
Oh, no. What'd you
That
say?
one was so squishy, it sounded like my ex-girlfriend's pussy.
Oh my god!
I feel like he oh, never mind.
Just the way he said that. Dude! Wow. He's just so... He does know that people can hear him saying how he says pussy, right?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I can breathe again. Nope. Gonna wait for a second. Okay. Oh, what? Oh, fuck, what do you want?
Oh, Red, that's gross. I mean, I get that that's your weather, and you get used to it, and to a certain degree, you probably really enjoy that, but, no, that's gross. 29 C's? Bleh.
29 C's?
I mean, it's good for swimming. It's good for swimming weather.
Jen? It's 31 right now here, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
It's 14 where I am. I'm actually comfy. I know I'm a weirdo.
Whoa, do we have
Yesterday was like 22, though. And I was not happy. I was like, oh god, it's too soon.
We have a UV, a heat warning. We got a heat warning. Apparently they're telling us to seek shelter indoors. It's almost 9 o'clock. It's gonna go down, isn't it?
You'd think. Yeah, it should. Yeah. You know what? It might be your humidity, though. Red is right. Humidity has this tendency to cling on to heat like they're best friends. They're having an orgy in the sky, and it takes them forever to hit the ground. And you're just kind of like, can you just slam to the ground already?
And then, I mean, tomorrow it's only going to be 23. And then the next day it's going to be 17. And then it's going to go back to 22 and stay in the high 20s. Thank God, because that's retarded. But yeah, we got a heat warning.
Yeah. So you know what? I just invented weather jokes for the weatherman. But heat plus humidity equals sky jizz. You're welcome.
Oh man.
Sky splooge. Chances of sky splooge next week, I guarantee you.
European Union pledges to curb oil purchases from Russia. Oh, well, so your gas prices are going up. Military has failed to keep women in uniform safe from sexual assault. Former Justice Louise Arbour finds. Okay.
You're buffering.
Oh, I'm actually buffering this time?
Yeah, a little bit. Or at least it's lagging. Let's see if I can refresh. Well, I refreshed. It seemed to work a little bit better. Nope. It is Monday, though. Sometimes you gotta blame it on Monday. You'd be surprised at how many people actually do shit on Monday.
I think I'm actually done buffering, but honestly, we've been going for a solid 2 anyways. And I think we talked about all of the things that are going to be interesting or full of the content that we like to give you. Cause
at least the stuff that we could actually talk about. Like, I would talk about Ethan Ralph, but the thing is I spent a good portion of my internet time avoiding Ethan Ralph and his crowd. Because I just didn't give a shit about the Fight Club. I just didn't. It's not my form of debate. It's not my form of conversation. So, like, whenever he's brought up, I'm like, the guy sounds like he's... I feel like he's enjoying what it feels like when you slowly lose your crowd. And you slowly lose your grift.
maybe.
And it's painful to watch.
Who is this guy again?
Yeah, Ralph, the Ralph Report.
Never heard of.
So you, I don't know if you remember Andy Worski, a fellow by the name of Andy Worski.
Skittles would know more about this than I would.
Okay, so Andy used to be a pretty big YouTuber back in the day. I mean, I wouldn't say huge, but for a Canadian guy on our end of the spectrum, and a fellow who used to do a lot of big streams with some of the bigger YouTubers. He got involved with the Ralph Report and a creeper from Quebec, which was his first mistake. Was his first mistake. Ralph was into this blood sports thing where you had a debate, but half of the debate was you just verbally abusing each other. And for a while it was really popular. Like it was kind of like the verbal WWF for a little bit. But like all things that are that on the internet, it just became cancer. And it was cancer. I thought it was cancer. But some people thought it was entertaining. But Ralph has lost his grift. And so a lot of what he does now is he picks petty fights with people. He's gone contrarian on half of his fights. He's kind of a giant pussy. He starts fights with people that he knows he's going to lose so that he can either play the wimp game or start another fight. And it's one of those things where, like, I don't know if he thinks he's one of, like, I don't know, the Paul brothers or something, but he's not. He's like the trailer park version of the Paul brothers. And honestly, I just don't understand why people are paying attention to him in the first place. You know how you get a guy like that to either smarten up or fuck off or get help or whatever? Just ignore him. But I think a lot of people are making a little bit of a grift off of him because, like a lot of low cows, he doesn't realize he's a low cow. Do you know what that one means?
Sort of. Yeah, mostly, I
Okay.
think.
Yeah, I agree, Johnny. Fuck Ralph. I like I said, I never was really into his shit because it's just not my form of debate. I don't find what he does to be productive or entertaining, and I don't really go after locals. Like, I just, to a certain degree, it's like it is bullying the retard kid. For the record, you are bullying the retard kid. Ralph is not a retard, but because he's let himself become the local, he's kind of in that position, and the best thing to do with that guy is just to ignore him. Because he will seek help on his own. Believe it or not. You know, I mean, he's got enough friends around him that if he was doing some serious shit, he does have people who poke in on him. Nobody wants him to hurt himself or anything stupid. But the guy is just... Locals are the kind of people who'll drive themselves off a cliff, PG. That's what I mean.
Oh.
So it's better to ignore him.
Do we want him to
Andy
drive
Worski
himself
is from
off a
Toronto.
cliff? Oh, he's from Toronto? Okay, do we want him to drive himself off a cliff?
No. I think he's just a giant idiot, and he's got opinions that are stupid sometimes, but just because your opinions are kind of stupid and you're kind of an idiot doesn't mean I wish harm on you. It's kind of like, do you know who Coach Red Pill is? Or have you heard of him?
Yeah, because you've talked about him.
Yeah. So it's kind of like that, you know? It's one of those things where, like, yeah, he's not necessarily the best person on the planet, but he hasn't really done anything to hurt anyone. I wouldn't trust him with anything, because I think he's more talk and sounding like he knows what he's talking about. But